Is it safe or not? The debate continues about the chemicals used in fogging sprays to kill mosquitoes. At least one medical expert is raising issue about the harmful effects of malathion, which is one of the chemicals in the spray. But the Ministry of Health is insisting that it is safe. TVJ's Shamela Pullen tells us more.
For the past few months, vector control workers have been going from door to door carrying out fogging activities. This is part of a drive by the Ministry of Health to reduce the adult Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, which cause the dengue virus. But there's a concern about one of the three chemicals being used in the spray.
So they're using these spray techniques where they're going around spraying malathion, and malathion kills mosquitoes in many cases, but malathion actually interferes with the respiratory muscle activity of any living animal, including humans. So many people will get sick from the spraying technique, and they don't want anybody ahead of time. They just go through and just spray communities, and we need to be on the lookout and be careful about that.
Medical entomologist who is in charge of the vector control program in the Ministry of Health, Shireen Huntley-Jones, is insisting that all the chemicals used, including the malathion, are tested and approved by the World Health Organization, WHO, and the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
The chemicals are safe. When we apply the chemical, we are putting out small particulate matter into the environment. So with any small particulate matter, it can become an irritant. It's not necessarily the active ingredient that is causing the respiratory issues, but that there are small particulate matters. So it's similar to dust particles, it's similar to the aerosols that we use in our homes.
Mrs. Jones says this is why the Ministry of Health in its public education campaign recommends that persons take the necessary precaution if they're skeptical about the chemicals used.
We do give caution and ask persons to either one, not be in the area when we are doing the fogging, but if you have to be there, cover your nose, cover your mouth with a damp cloth. In a few minutes, the chemical would have dissipated, the particles would have dissipated, and then they should be okay.
But this issue has been contributing to numerous complaints about the ineffectiveness of the fogging methods. Mrs. Jones explains that this is a challenge for the vector control team because they are not being facilitated in some areas.
At the time that we're fogging, two things are happening. One, sometimes persons are not home, so the homes are locked up. When the team pass through with the fogging, the windows, doors are closed, so the fog cannot get onto the inside to get to the mosquitoes. Secondly, there are persons that deliberately close their windows and doors. They do not like the smell of the chemical. They think they're going to be affected by the chemical, so they lock up their windows and doors. What does this do? This protects the mosquito.
But come January 2020, Mrs. Jones says the Ministry of Health will be taking a new approach in tackling the mosquitoes. She says the Aedes aegypti mosquito is an indoor pest and only goes outside when it wants to lay its eggs. As a result of that, it is difficult for the fogging on the outside to get on the inside to impact the mosquitoes.
So we'll be promoting householders purchasing the commercially available aerosols and to be spraying out their homes twice per week, every week, getting into those areas that we know that the Aedes aegypti is hiding, so that we are on the outside tackling and they're on the inside tackling, and we should see a greater reduction in the population with that method.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.